Hello everyone and welcome back to the live coverage of YCS Milan 2019. We have our top 8 players and we're going to do a quick introduction with them so you guys can get to know them a little bit better. Let's bring our first one in. Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good, I'm fine.
Please introduce yourself for the viewers back home in case they've not seen you before.
I'm Andreas Vrelos and I'm from Greece and I'm 21.
How does it feel to be in the top 8 of this event?
Great, like I didn't expect to be in the top 8, to be serious, like it's fine.
Which player in the top 8 are you most worried about playing?
Right now I'm playing with a friend from Greece, but I was hoping to not play with him in top 8. And we will see, I don't know. I'm only afraid him.
Only afraid of one guy, that's a good place to be. What is the best card in the current format?
Sky Striker Engage.
Seems fair. And what would winning this event mean to you?
I want to win a lot this event because I want to win 2 YCSs. Because last time in Utrecht I missed, so I lost in semi-finals and I wasn't happy about that.
Understandably. Anyway, man, I wish you the best of luck. If you head on through and good luck with your next match. And we'll grab our next player in. Hey, how you doing?
Very good, thank you.
So please introduce yourself for all the people back home.
I am Vasilis, I'm 22 and I'm from Greece.
You're having a great run. How does it feel to be in the top 8 of this event?
Well, it actually feels very nice because I've missed the top cut twice with a topping record, 9-2. So finally I made it.
You finally made it in. Were you also in on 9-2?
Sorry?
Were you X2?
Today I was X11.
Okay, that's much safer.
Yeah, I was safe.
Okay, so which player in the top 8 are you most worried about playing?
The guy that I'm going to play right now, Andreas. He's a friend of mine and I know that he's really good. So we're going to have a good match.
If you beat him, do you think you're going to win the tournament?
Yeah, it depends, probably. I mean that he played a lot of mirrors and won all of them. I've played like 7 or 8 and I've won all of them, so it's going to be a nice match.
What do you think is the best card in the current format?
I don't know in the format, but for my deck I'm going to say Engage and Into the Void. The card is crazy.
Seems great. And what would winning this event mean to you?
A lot, actually a lot, because it's my first top 8 in YCS. I have more tops, but YCS is actually different. And I already have 2 wins, so the 3rd win is going to feel pretty nice.
Awesome, thank you so much. Well, best of luck with your next match. And we'll grab our next player in. Come on in. Please introduce yourself for our viewers at home.
My name is Domenic, I'm 21 years old and I'm from Belgium.
Congratulations on making it into the top 8. How does it feel to be in this tournament?
It's just incredible. It's my first top and being top 8 is... I can say any words about it.
That's great. I mean, is there a player in the top 8 that you're worried about playing against?
Excuse me.
Which player are you most worried about playing?
Hurry?
No worries, no worries. We'll move on to the next one.
Which I will play.
Yeah.
I play Maximilian Delval.
Are you nervous?
Yes, but in fact, I'm so happy to be here. To lose is not a big problem. I don't have the pressure like before the top. Like the last game, decisive for the top. I was more nervous than this one.
Okay, well, you're very close to the end. Last couple of questions. What's the best card in the current format?
The best card, it's Engage.
Engage. It seems pretty unanimous so far. What would winning this tournament mean to you?
Who win?
No, what would it mean for you to win this tournament? How would it feel for you?
I can describe how to be in top 8, so impossible to describe how to win this tournament.
All right, well, man, best of luck to you. We'll hopefully see you on the final table. Please go ahead this way. We'll grab our next player in. How are you doing?
Hi.
So, please introduce yourself for the people at home.
So I'm Raya Jabri, I'm 21 and I'm from France.
So, how do you feel about being in the top 8 of this tournament?
I'm very happy because it's my first top, so I'm very happy.
Nice. Is there any player in the top 8 that you're worried about playing?
Not really, just my teammate, but not really.
That's a good place to be. You want to be confident going into these last rounds. What is the best card in this format?
Engage and Galatea, but Engage first.
Engage, okay. What would winning this YCS mean for you?
I think I'm gonna run everywhere on the room, but yeah, I will be happy.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Well, hopefully we see you. Good luck. I will your next match. If you please head out this way. Let's grab our next player in. Hey, man, how you doing? Would you like to introduce yourself to the world?
Yes, my name is Maximilian, and I'm happy to be here in the top 8 with my deck Draco.
congratulations, it's quite an accomplishment. Is this your first top 8?
Yes, my first top 8. Last 2 times I failed in top 32, and I'm happy to be in the top 8. Yes.
Are there any players in the top 8 you're worried about playing?
Not really. I don't want to play against my teammates because we want to do best as we can, and if we face up, we cannot win the event. But I take match after match. I don't. If I play a good player, bad player, there is no bad player in top 8. So you have 8 good players, and you have to win. So.
Absolutely. What do you believe is the best card in the format?
I think it's Engage, and also Card of Device for me.
Card of the Mice?
Yes.
Very, very good card.
My strategy, Draco, and in Sky Striker also, I think a card that can say draw 3 cards, and another card that had draw and not once per turn is too good.
It's very, very good. What would winning this event mean for you?
I don't want to think about that. I just want to focus on my top 8, and that's all. I don't want to think about the win.
Then I'll ask you after you win, right? I'll ask you again after you win the tournament.
If I win, yes, but for the moment, I just want to focus on the top 8.
All right, best of luck to you, man. Please head out this way, and we'll grab our next player in. Hey, how you doing? We can hear some clapping already.
Hi.
Please introduce yourself for the viewers at home.
Hi, I'm Domenic. I'm from Munich.
Nice one. So, how do you feel to be in the top 8 of this event?
I'm pretty stoked. I didn't expect to make it this far, so yeah, I just want to win this, honestly.
I think everybody wants to win this one, to be honest. Is there a player in the top 8 you're worried about playing?
I forgot his name, but was a Salaman great player that beat me up pretty bad, so him.
So you just want to dodge that matchup, and you think you can win?
Yeah.
Awesome. What is the best card in this format? Is it Engage?
Engage is pretty good, but Engage is also pretty good. I'm not sure, but probably Engage.
Probably Engage. All right. What would winning this tournament mean for you?
Good question. A lot.
A lot. Okay. So you're actually on our feature match for this round. So are you feeling pretty nervous? Are you ready for this?
No, I'm ready.
You're going to win?
Sure.
All right, man. If you'd like to make your way to the feature match area, I'm just going to introduce your opponent. Good luck. And our last player in the top 8, please come on in. I think we've met before somewhere. I can't remember where, though.
Yeah, 2 rounds ago, I think it was.
Please introduce yourself to the viewers at home in case they missed that match.
I'm Niall, and I won my top 32 match?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you won.
Yeah, I did, just about.
So, how does it feel to be in the top 8 of this event?
It feels brilliant, I'm not going to lie. First YCS top, and I'm just sailing on through. Yeah, it feels good.
Just going to take it all the way. Is there a player in the top 8 you're worried about playing?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't really recognize too many, but I haven't really been paying attention. Mostly it's just the Striker August matchup, really, but yeah.
I think you've got this so far. You sound very confident. What is the best card in the format?
Ban Engage.
And what would winning this event mean for you?
It would mean more than a lot. It would be brilliant, is what it would be, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, your thoughts for you've seen your opponent, you've had a chance to talk to him. Are you feeling confident?
Yeah, I think I've got an edge. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Awesome. Well, if you'd like to make your way to the feature match area, and we'll see you on stage in just a moment. Guys, I'm going to throw us over to our casters who are going to walk us into the next match. Go for it. I think it's Alberto and Marcello.
Welcome to the top 8 of YCS Milan 2019. Alberto, how does it feel to be in the top 8?
Oh my God. Pretty nice. So,
What is the best card of the format?
I guess Engage, right?
Just joking with you, of course. I'm having a little bit of a deja vu, but it was lovely to hear live the thoughts of our players in top 8, and I'm sure we will have 3 more matches that are worth watching. So, before jumping into this one that we picked, we can show you guys some statistics for the event. I'm gonna bring up the top 8 for countries. And this is the country breakdown. So France and Greece starting at the bottom at day 1, they now climbed up to the top, having the most spots, so 4 divided between them, and I gotta say, I feel sorry for Italy. We had over 800 Italian players at this event, and only one of them is left. Such a shame in a way.
This is so unfortunate because like most of the time we see a lot of Italian and German players, but this time France and Greece has a really good spot to win this one.
Yeah, we were talking about France multiple times, and maybe they can take it again. It's different players. They have a very strong community, but Greece, again, another force to be reckoned. We have a lot of incredible players. Andreas already won a YCS back in the day. Strong performances, but the thing you guys are more interested in are the decks. So this is the deck breakdown for top 8. There are 4 Orcus decks. The Pure and Sky Striker isn't exact, so most of them are playing Engage, and no surprise, everyone said that Engage is the best card at the moment, and when 5, if not actually 6 decks out of top 8 are playing it, you gotta give credit to them.
Yeah, and what are you going to pick for this tournament?
It's tough. The True Draco is definitely interesting. It's completely different from what we had seen in Pasadena last weekend. It is playing no extra deck at all, so relying a lot more on traps, on the Erupt. So it's working out for him. So maybe if their opponents focused on like an Orcus matchup, they might have disregarded such a deck. And I'm definitely curious to see it. But for this round, we have Domenic, who is the last Thunder Dragon player at the event, against Niall, who we have seen previously with his Orcus deck.
Yeah, and I think he has a really good chance here to make it to the top 4. We have seen previously that he was able to win quite easily the top 32 match, and I think he has a good chance to advance into the top 4. But let's see, also because Thunder Dragon is not a really good matchup.
It's tough. Like Thunder Dragon, it's really weak to the Ngirsu and a lot of the things that the Orcus deck does. But there are some spices inside Domenic's deck. He's playing Dimensional Fissure and Macrocosmos. Are we gonna see those cards? Our players are ready. Let's just go to the table.
It's actually been a while since we last saw these cards, right? Microcosmos and Dimensional Fissure, it's been a while.
Especially
right?
Dimensional Fissure. The one I can remember clearly was here in Milan back in 2012, where Stefano Memoli became champion with windups, and he opened Dimensional Fissure to just outplay his opponent. But it has been 7 years, and the card is still up there. So
good old memories, right?
Yeah. For some of our old legends in the game. So let's take a look at these hands. The die roll, how much of an importance do you think it pays in this one?
I think it's going to be quite relevant for Domenic because he really wants to start things out. But from what I can see, he drew 2 copies of... okay, so Niall is starting and he drew 2 copies of Ash Blossom.
He picks up the Mathematician, which was really needed. His hand was kind of on the weak side with Phantasme and Double Ash, but...
Yeah, he has a good hand. He has Mathematician, Phantasme, 2 copies of Ash Blossom, and here comes the best card of the format so far. Right?
Yeah, there is the best card of the format.
Yeah?
We've seen it multiple times throughout the weekend and throughout the tournaments, and even more right now, so... Let's see what the direction he decides to do. Drawing Phantasme here is not the best. Thunder Dragon can usually play around it. They don't necessarily need to use Link Monsters.
Yeah.
So.
But on the other hand, Domenic has a really good hand anyway. He has Impermanence, he has an Ash Blossom.
Yeah, and Impermanence doesn't come up here. So maybe he just wants to use the Ash Blossom, but...
Okay, so he decides to drop the Ash Blossom here in this spot. Would you have activated Permanence just not to give Niall a...
I mean, it depends. Maybe he thought that his opponent could have gone for a Masquerina or something else, but I think Impermanence wasn't that bad on the Mathematician, to be fair. We'll see. He's left now with not that many plays. I think he has double Ash Blossom and the Engage he got back, of course, with the Phantasme, so maybe he can go into a Link, but he's not going to be able to engage for +1. So.
Yeah, he can run some moves here, but he doesn't have that much going on. And indeed, he decides to pass.
He just passed. Okay.
I think at this point in the tournament, both players, I mean, I think Niall knows what Domenic is playing, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it seems like Gold Sarcophagus is one of the best ways to start this. what can he pick up from the top of the deck.
Okay, so let's see if Niall, I would keep the Ash Blossom anyway, so that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, this play where you usually activate the Ash Blossom is on the Dark, on the Roar, when they're banished.
Something relevant.
We'll see. I don't think Domenic's position is that bad. At the same time, I'm surprised that he's doing this well, because it doesn't seem like he's maining that many Antrops for this matchup. So
yeah, he doesn't have that many, but yeah. Okay, so Domenic. Okay, so he decides to go for the safest way possible, in my opinion. So he summoned the Colossus under Kagari's arrow. There's now searching for the Matrix.
yeah, so he has a few options here. He can. It depends how aggressive he wants to be. Of course, also the Mathematician isn't the best way, because you kind of want to deny the draw, but at the same time you don't want to waste interruptions.
Are you surprised we don't have any Salamangreat left in the tournament? Or I think it was quite a good deck, but it didn't prove that it could make so far into the tournament.
There were a lot of Salamangreats. We've seen it already in round 1 with Federico McNulty, but unfortunately there are no left in top 8, so maybe it wasn't that great of a decision to bring it to the event. I was never a big fan of it, just because it loses to the same Antrop as that deck. But we'll see. In the end, whoever is going to win is going to have something to say here. So it seems like he's going to go for a more controlling approach. At the same time, the decision from Niall to leave the Kagari there might be a bad one, because like Thunder Dragon already can avoid going into Link summons. Yeah. When you give him an extra zone, it's just even easier.
That is not quite a safe choice for him, but I think things are going really good for Domenic also, because he has the impermanence. And here comes the second Titan. And the Phantasmi, as you said before, is completely unuseful.
Yeah, so it's tough, but even though we have seen like a lot of different approaches in the deck, in deck building, 1 year ago exactly, we were seeing, to name him once more, Federico McNulty with Thunder Dragon trying his best to win, and maybe after a year the deck can finally win the event it has been waiting, and especially in this kind of build, because I think the most success we've seen for Thunder Dragon was the Guard Dragon version.
Yeah.
And now, after 1 year, it's actually quite funny that we are back at the same place. So
yeah, although Domenic is the only player remaining playing the Thunder Dragon, is proving out that Thunder Dragon is still really good deck.
Are you surprised at all that he didn't leave a Colossus up? Because he knew that an engage was in Niall end.
Yeah, I mean, I would summon a Colossus also because it gives you, like, you know, a good advantage against this deck, right? Also because his main deck is Sky Striker's card.
It seems very, very peculiar, because you know that the engage was there. Like here, you can risk it, because if they have a decent hand, they can just take one away with the Widow Anchor. And I really don't understand why he just didn't go for Colossus there.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a really good position also because, like, he only has a skeleton in his hand. I mean, so Niall didn't have anything but the engage. But in this spot, by the moment that Domenic decided not to special summon the Colossus...
yeah, now the engage is live, so the Widow... I think the game would have been over on the spot if he went for Colossus. Now he's gonna try and actually make a play. Unfortunately, there is the Matrix, who is gonna prevent Niall from going too far. What do you think he should do in this spot? Do you see any way he can come out of this?
I mean, maybe he could try to, of course, to activate the Widow Anchor and try to get the Titan. But this is going to be quite complicated also because he knows the Matrix in Domenic's hand. So he doesn't have that much going on, but in the meantime, he will also use the Skeleton trying to maybe to force Domenic back row, but you're just asking for some clarification here from the head judge. He really needs to be careful, but I think we will soon see the widow anchor. Yeah, here it comes.
Yeah, no surprise, but again, I don't really see a way to just get out of it, because you can try and crash, which is pretty good, but then you need a follow-up.
What could you?
And if you just summon here, I'm pretty sure he's gonna try. The cool thing about it is that, and that's why Niall asked for a translation, that I'm gonna show you guys possibly in a moment, is that the Titan triggers as well from your opponent Thunder Dragon activations. So this prevented Domenic from doing much. Because if you were to discard the Matrix, then you give your opponent the chance to activate there. Even though it's negated by the anchor, you can still try and activate it. And it makes you lose timing. So
here comes the Galatea, and I think here, well, I mean, yeah, he has to use the Matrix. And
he does, but now at the same time, he can just use the symbol to bring it back.
Yeah.
So maybe Niall trying his best to find a way to stay in the game. But this, once more, I don't want to repeat myself, but it could have been a completely different game if Domenic, that knew about the engage, just end on one Colossus. He knew about it, so he could have completely stopped Niall.
Yeah, I mean, he had the right spot to summon the Colossus, and also he had a Titan on the field, so
yeah, I mean,
he could have summoned it. I mean, it could have been a safer way to avoid the
especially because I hope that it is not going to cost him the game, but you see, if you're playing on top 8 on stream, it's already like very tough, but if you give away one of the wins like that, then it's even tougher to be mentally stable and come back. Luckily though, the impermanence was there ever since turn 1, so Titan not gonna leave. And I think now it's gonna be...
Yeah, if Domenic draws a monster, he has a chance to win the game.
Yeah, he needs to capitalize here. The Ash Blossom is once more there for Niall, but if he picks up something like Aloof Lupine, he might be able to do. He does draw another Matrix, so the Ash Blossom is gonna come down on the fusion. And I think we're back to square one, really.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much what happened before. He does have in his grave here, he doesn't even have the really good ones.
No, he doesn't have anything.
Because both Roar and Dark are banished. Otherwise, he could have gone for a cute play where you destroy your own Titan, then you protect it, and you go and search for like a duo. But I'm pretty sure all of the good Thunder Dragon cards are already banished, so it's not really an option.
Okay, so nothing special here. I think Domenic, I mean, it would have been another game if he only had summoned the Colossus
so now,
at this point, right?
Absolutely. So let's see what if Kenny drew. Probably the best cards are still like Mathematician and stuff
or like
that.
I mean, like Armageddon Knight, maybe Foolish Burial, Mathematician, of course. He does have a few cards, Enforcement of the Army, maybe, so he has quite a few targets.
He does, and even just like R-Potter or some of that could be enough. He picks up the return, I think, which isn't the worst. Of course, he was hoping for something better, but might as well just use it and fish for
better
cards.
than nothing.
Can he pick something useful? It's the Armageddon Knight and another Engage. Wow. So
this is huge.
Incredible.
And and as we were saying before, if only the Titan would have been a Colossus, now this game would have been over.
So the Engage comes down one more on stream. It does seem like...
That's why it's the best card of the format, right?
Absolutely. Just so strong here. You get so much advantage. You get the Armageddon Knight. The Shark basically represents an extender. And even though Domenic picked up one more interruption, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, now Niall has a really good chance to come back into this game.
Yeah.
Which seemed over, but now is more than open. So let's see what he can do.
So he starts things off with the Shark Cannon. There are a few options from what he can summon, and it means that no matter what, he's gonna be guaranteed to have 2 monsters on board. Yep. So.
Okay, so here comes the Armageddon Knight. I think kind of trying to... Maybe he has to consider the fact that Domenic could have something to interrupt.
Yeah, I mean,
him.
you don't know. You probably expect, yes, you know about the Thunder Dragon. The other card is unknown. You can pretty much guarantee that it isn't like any engine card, so it's probably gonna be either an Entrap or Matrix Dark. So it's tough, and it's such a shame that you can see how close this game was. He left Niall on just 500, and he could have already win the game. So especially because, like, if the life points are correct and he's only on 500, then he could have just won by using the
Matrix, right? Yeah,
so it's like he kind of missed twice a chance to seal the game, which is such a shame, really.
Oh, that was right. Yeah, he could have won the game in the turn previously.
In two different ways. So, I mean, Niall already had a future match 2 rounds ago, so he knows perfectly how it feels to be there. Not that he makes it extremely easier, but it does help.
I mean, nothing special here. We're just seeing the start on Orcos combo.
What can you even do? You can see Domenic just shaking his head, probably realizing some of the things he has done, and he doesn't see a spot where he can drop the Matrix. So.
Yeah, I mean, he maybe realized he could have dropped the Matrix earlier on this turn into this battle phase, and now he comes the Battle Sword, and as we were saying before, now Niall has a really good chance to come back into this game.
Yeah, so he goes for Battle Sword, and this means that no matter what happens with the Matrix, he can always use it, but here it is gonna get interesting because if he uses it in the damage step, then okay, he banished something from the grave. It seems like he declared an attack though, didn't he?
Yeah, I didn't see what he banished because it was really fast.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he was attacking, but I think, what happened was that he used the Matrix and then he used the Nightmare as well.
Yeah, I think he banished the Nightmare,
thanks to the Babel. But they're having a little bit of a discussion whether the chain link was in that order or the attack is gonna be, and with some math, everything will be solved.
Yeah, just some clarification here, but this game could have been over quite a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's tough because as we interviewed all of them, especially Domenic said that he didn't think that he would get this far.
Yeah.
And you can really see the different approaches into interview. I think that's very interesting. Like, I believe one of our French players, you can really tell that he was really happy to be in the top 8, but that's like the way to go for it.
Yeah, it's like the way to approach it, right? So once you're there, you play your cards, you see where it comes.
Yeah, and this is gonna be pretty much a game at this point because he will be able to just attack twice. And he has the Orochi as well, just on top.
Yeah.
So, tough one, but it seems like Niall played this card as well, and he found a way to just win with only 500 life points left.
Yeah, I mean, Domenic had his chance, he played his cards, but now Niall, I mean, he was able to come back thanks to the Engage and the Armageddon Knight as well.
Yep. Just a matter of seconds, Gizmek will be activated, and it should be more than enough to win this game. Are we gonna see cards being picked up? Should be.
Yeah.
Taking his time, and yeah, he does pick up his cards.
Yeah, he does pick up
so
his
it's
card,
game 1 for Niall, and United Kingdom moves on to game 2 with an advantage, and here you can see some of our crowds.
Now, as you were saying before, it could have been a really different game, and Domenic was shaking his hand, maybe he realized...
because he had 2 different ways to win that game.
Yeah.
If he would have gone for 1 Colossus, that game was completely over on the spot.
Yeah.
And also later on, if he would have just used the Matrix, he left his opponent on 500, so it would have been another way to win, but let's hope that he doesn't think about that too much. You really gotta shake off your mistakes and move on. I know some of the best players struggle with that. Rafael Neven in the crowd, I'm talking to you as well. But
And talking about
side decks, yeah. We can take a look at what these guys are gonna bring in. So for Anton, we can already expect that since he's maining Dimensional Fissure, Macrocosmos, he has a lot for this matchup. And he's siding cards like System Down, which is also just a blowout. I saw his match against Matteo Mordanini, and he just straight up won with the System Down.
Yeah, it was the only card. It is the only card in this format that really completely shuts down your opponent. And we were remembering previously, later on in this, on our future matches, how important it was back in the day, right?
Yeah, it has always been a very impactful card whenever it was good. And right now it seems like unless you're playing the mirror match and you risk Lancia on it, it's one of the best cards against the Orcus deck because they always go for Babel instead of Crescendo. So it's something to consider, and Niall, on his other hand, was probably not expecting to be playing against a lot of pure Thunder Dragon. And what do you think he might side in?
So, I think he has Dark Lure no more, which is like the most important and impactful card of the format against Thunder Dragon. And I mean, like, it completely runs useless.
Yeah, it shuts them down because usually it was first imagined as a way to stop combo decks and the Guard Dragon version. But if you think about it, the best part about like the pure Thunder Dragon is they just put out a lot of big attack monsters that are hard to deal with. Not so much for Orcus, just because they can play Unicorn, Dingirsu, but just using a Dark Lure no more, having not to worry about what's up there.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry about anything. You can let your opponent play if you don't draw any end traps at all, and then you can just drop the Dark Lure no more, and you can play your cards.
But it's enough for the talk. I do believe that they are both willing to go first.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they didn't, but you never know. And it's worth mentioning that Anton also is one of the first duelists that is playing Super Polymerization. It might be for other matchups, but you know, all of the cards in Niall deck are dark, so...
Yeah, we haven't seen this card in our future matches this weekend so far, right?
Yeah, it was super popular in London and in Ghent, but it seemed like Super Polymerization really fell off the popularity.
Yeah, it's one of those cards really being played of 3 copies, but from... Oh, did he pick up
I
the
keep on jinxing it, so it's the first card, and as soon as I name it, Super Polymerization decides to show up. Will it be impactful? Will it be not so much? Maybe it is one of the reasons why Domenic is in top 8 and other players who are not using Super Polymerization aren't. So.
Okay, so Domenic really picked up a really good hand, in my opinion. Okay.
Okay, nice play here. Very heads-up play by Niall. He discards the Alancia, which prevents the Allure of Darkness from Anton. And this completely ends his turn. This was such a good play from Niall.
Wow. Would you ever expect this?
It's definitely something that shows you that he knows the deck. And it's also the reason why Aloof Lupine banishes as cost.
Yeah.
So if you don't use the Lancia, then you're gonna lose to Aloof and to Allure of Darkness. So, but still, really an heads-up play from Niall, and it shows you that he's not in the top 8 out of luck.
So now things are gonna be quite interesting because on Domenic hand, he has the Super Poly, right?
Yeah.
Well, on the other hand, Niall has the Engage, so maybe... Do you think it's either in the jamming waves? I don't think so, right?
I would be very surprised by it, but this hand is just so great from Niall. At the same time, like, why do you think he would discard both of the Thunder Dragons with Super Poly in hand? Wouldn't it just better
I mean, he could have saved one for the Super Poly, right? It could have been much better.
I think you do always keep it, but Engage, once more, being one of the cards we've seen all
weekend,
year,
all weekend.
All weekend. So the Mathematician as well. So that's gonna help a lot. Because when do you think is the best time to actually use the Super Polymerization in this matchup?
I think I will let him play through all these cards, and for sure I would wait for the Skeleton in graveyard so he can just special summon, you know, dark monsters. And I mean, I would wait. Maybe here he could go into a Phoenix.
And we do see the Phoenix. So very nice play here from Niall.
Well played by Niall.
And I'm pretty sure that this is just might be over
Yeah,
because
it might be over. Yeah.
now that he knows, I mean, he's gonna test his opponent for possible hand traps, but it seems like it should be pretty straightforward from this point on.
Yeah, it was really smart in this spot because, like, he maybe understood that maybe he didn't have Domenic maybe didn't have an impermanence, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise he would have killed in his hand. So
You can see Domenic looking at his friends in the crowd, shaking his head, and what can you do? I mean, sometimes you just throw this kind of hands, but it was really due to the Lancia discarded in the standby phase.
yeah, it was really well played by Niall.
Yeah. It would have changed the game, and here you can see he's just gonna see, because he knows that the Lancia is not there from Domenic, the Ash probably either, and
so maybe he understood that Domenic doesn't have anything at all, and he maybe could push for a game here.
yeah, unfortunately, like, the engage was already used on the Hornet drones, which means he doesn't have a way to get to free spells, because otherwise he could have tried and game him with the Thunder Dragon. Let's just see if he gets the line. Okay. He's gonna try and send as many spells as possible, so he has another Art Porter to discard and fish for more cards. Can he get even more engages? Let's see, these draws are gonna be super important. He gets a wand and crescendo, which is not that bad.
Yeah.
White set crescendo if you can draw into it, I guess. So, do you think this will change his plans, or?
I mean, I don't think so. I think it will be stick to the plan. I mean, he understood that Domenic doesn't have any hand traps in his hand, so I think he will maybe wants to find a way to push enough damage, but I don't
it doesn't
think
seem like it's enough with this line now. Because the engage, I mean, it's gonna be up to him, because with the engage you can also get an interruption, so you can get a Widow Anchor, which I wouldn't hate. Let's see. I'm also slightly surprised that he kept the engages, to be honest. You would think that against Pure Thunder going second, you might just side out those engages. But I guess he felt confident enough that he could get rid of Colossus. And to be fair, Anton didn't show like his sympathy for Colossus in game one. So.
Yeah. So right now you can push some damages, also the narration of the graveyard.
Yeah. So he just takes a slower approach. He's gonna just push some damage. Potentially he can, like, he could have gone for Orochi and then EP. So if he ends up doing that, I think he missed some damage here. Nothing too relevant
special,
banished. Yeah. Because like if like in main phase 2 he just wants to go for the Masquerina play, then I think he could have pushed more, but I guess with the Nightmare maybe it didn't matter as much. So sending the Orochi in the end, Galatea was just as big. And I think we are gonna see in main phase 2 the EP play, where you just go for the Ngirsu, you get something back from the banished drone, you make Masquerina, you set Crescendo and Widow Anchor with 3 spells in grave. I think this is gonna be a filling battle for
he's sitting in a really
Domenic.
comfortable position right there. He has what he needs. He has the Crescendo, he has the Widow Anchor, he has the Masquerina.
Yeah,
Fingers is in the graveyard, there's the Babel, so there's a lot of things on Niall.
It's like at least 3 to 4 interruptions here, and I mean, Allure of Darkness into the Dragon Dark is a very good way to start, but there is a good chance that the Crescendo might just negate the Allure. I think I would definitely go for it.
I would definitely consider it, Also because Domenic passed his turn before, right?
So he goes for this line, and the Dark is going to be just used in the end phase, trying to fill his deck. Do you see anything that he could draw? Probably another Super Polymerization.
Yeah, probably another Super Poly. That's the only card I could think of.
Yeah, I think he really needs to pick up another Super Polymerization, and maybe he has a chance. At the same time, you can always use the symbol engrave to bring back the Galatea. Let's see what he picks up. It looks like another monster.
Yeah, maybe even a system down, it will not be that terrible in this spot.
But it just forces out the Crescendo, I guess. So Allure of Darkness will he negate it? Big question, I think so.
He has to, yeah.
You need to negate it. Your opponent just passed on an empty board after Lancia. Good chance that that was there. And I don't see any other spells. He picked up the Hawk, which is a decent one, but how do you play around this board?
This is going to be really tough for him.
I think this might just be over for Domenic. Can he find a way around this?
So let's see. He has the Masquerina, which is so strong in this spot, and
yeah, especially
because
even if he goes for the Unicorn line, then he has even a better card to discard, which is the Wand.
I know. I can't see really a way how Niall can lose this one, right?
It seems tough. He's gonna go through all of his options. He doesn't want to give away what seems to be an unlosable spot. Because like if he goes here for Unicorn even without even thinking too much about it, it's tough for Domenic. He would basically end the turn.
So he's now activating the Galatea.
Yeah, he gets the return. If he didn't banish his other copy, he still has the return, and it seems like he's considering going into Unicorn.
Yeah, I mean, it was really well played by Niall. He activated the Lancia as soon as Domenic picked up these cards, and then
and he goes for Bomber instead. Interesting line. So he goes for Bomber, and then just use the Anchor to get the Dark out of there. I'm not sure if this is significantly better. It might actually be worse, because
I mean, he could have summoned the
Unicorn.
Unicorn.
The handshake comes down.
Yeah.
Wow. What a match! But let's go back to us for the post-match discussion. Wow. So I'm still kind of confused, to be honest, about what was going on in this match. Both of these guys trying their best. Only one of them could advance to the top 4. Eventually it was Niall, who is now on a perfect score on our future matches. Maybe he will keep on doing as well. I gotta say, although they both showed that they were good enough to get here, Niall is the one I'm the most impressed with.
Yeah, I mean, he played his cards really well without making any mistakes. I mean, Lancia was dropping the right moment, and he really was able to come back into game 1. So really well played by Niall.
It was definitely an interesting one. In game 1, we saw pretty much the emotion getting the best out of Domenic. I feel like he had the right answers to win game 1. He had multiple ways. He knew about the engage in his opponent hand, and he still decided to go for double Titan. And even afterwards, there was a moment in which he didn't really take a look at the life points well. He didn't activate the Matrix, and he left his opponent on 500, which gotta feel heartbreaking for him. In game 2, though, we kind of had the opposite situation. There was not too much he could have done to change things up, because Niall completely outplayed him. But in the end, I think it was Niall who made a questionable play in a way, because at the end I feel like if you go Unicorn there,
it could have been safer, right?
You are safer, because what I was thinking is when you do Bomber and then you have stolen the Dark, if they have like a Pancratops.
If you had the Pancratops, it could cause you a lot of troubles, right?
Because then the Bomber triggers, you chain the Pancratops, you pop the Babel,
exactly.
And the Bomber is gonna pop the Dark. So you get the duo or the fusion. It might have been trouble, but anyway, I mean, he was brave enough. So. Guys, thank you again for tuning in for Top 8. We have 2 more matches for the day, the most important ones, because they are both gonna mean the first one, a prize card, the second one, the title of biggest ever Italian event. I think Matt is ready for the interview with Niall. Let's not wait and go to them.
Thank you, guys. I'm here with the winner of that Top 8 match, Niall. How do you feel, man?
Pretty good, yeah. Really, really comfortable matchup for the deck, so I guess I got lucky.
Lucky. I mean, that first game looked a little dicey, pretty low on life points, but you turned it around.
Yeah, so I forgot to declare Borrelsword's effect on attack declaration, so very, very close. But luckily, I was just saving Nightmare to block Titan's effect in damage step, and it worked out.
And then that game 2, there's not so much to talk about. You blocked him out twice, and that just seemed to be it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Standby phase Lancia is pretty good. Nightmare Phoenix is pretty good. and Engage is pretty good.
Yeah, I'll look into that when I get back to the office. Anyway, guys, have a good one. We're going to be back with just 2 more matches before we find out who's going to be our winner for YCS Milan. Stay with us. There's more dueling action to come.